Is it guns or is it people holding the guns? The world is full of evil, and with the mass shootings sweeping the nation from coast to coast, we see just how much evil really exists. Many politicians in Washington are pushing for stricter gun laws and regulations. But as Sal Robertson said, it ain't gun control we need, it's sin control. Some of those politicians who would like to put gun control and laws in effect are calling for all American citizens to be disarmed. First of all, with close to 280 through 300 million guns in circulation today, it would be very difficult for American government to disarm more than half of the population. Many prominent Americans today are legal gun owners. A multitude of past presidents, including Dwight Eisenhower, Theodore Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy, were gun owners. People tend to lay blame on the guns themselves, but as the anti-gun control activists state, the people of this country are the problem, not the guns. Look what happened in Washington, D.C. in 1976. The government implemented a law that banned citizens from owning guns. Those who already owned guns were allowed to keep them, but they had to be disassembled or trigger locked. According to Professor Jeffrey Shapiro, homicides rose from 188 in 1976 to 364 in 1988, and even rose higher in 1993 to 454. After the Supreme Court in D.C. did away with the law, the yearly homicide rate steadily decreased to 88 in 2012. The facts clearly show the homicides rose after D.C. banned guns. When some people are told they can't have something they want, it even more. Apparently that is what happened in D.C., and it's probably what would happen in the U.S. government tried to ban guns for all citizens. It would be virtually impossible to eliminate all guns across the country. Most people would not freely give up their guns or obey a disassemble or trigger lock law. And we must remember what one of the most evil men ever lived said: to conquer a nation, first disarm its citizens. Adolf Hitler. Another interesting fact: according to the National Interest, over 90% of public mass shootings take place in gun-free zones. The terror attack in Orlando, Florida took place in the gun-free zone. School shootings take place in gun-free zones. Why do so many mass shootings take place in gun-free zones? Deranged murderers want to murder as many people as possible, so they target areas where they're least likely to find armed resistance, which happens to be gun-free zones. People who go out and commit murders don't care about gun laws. If someone wants to commit murder, a gun law will not stop them. A person driven to kill will always find a way. For me, gun control would infringe upon my right to own guns for hunting and 13.7 million other hunters in America. Hunting is a sport enjoyed by millions of men and women and children. Most of us today do not strictly hunt to provide food for our families, but we eat what we kill, and it does cut down the cost of having to buy meat from the grocery store. Being allowed to own a gun for hunting should be protected by our Second Amendment right. Our nation's founding fathers established a constitution the way they thought the direction America should go. The Constitution of the United States provides every American citizen with his or her personal freedom. Gun control threatens the Second Amendment rights of citizens and is viewed by many as unconstitutional. I do not have a problem with gun laws, but if we allow the government to take away our Second Amendment right to own guns, what would they take away next? What other freedom could we lose? It all goes back to Sal Robertson's quote: "It ain't gun control we need, it's sin control." Back in the 50s and 60s, you could order a gun in the mail. There were ads in magazines or comic books. All you had to do was send in the order form and the money, and the gun would arrive in the mail. You did not check the box stating that you were 18 years of age, but no one checked to make sure you were. High schools had school rifle teams, and it was not unusual to see rifles or shotguns mounted in students' truck windows when they arrived at school. They had prayer in school and said the Pledge of Allegiance. Kids were taught to have respect for authority, respect for elders, social responsibility, respect for parents, and respect for teachers. Teachers and parents had the right to discipline kids. Parents took their kids to church. What they did not have was guns in school. School shootings and mass shootings. Guns were mostly used in their intended purpose by military to protect our country and hunting. Guns haven't changed much, but the society has. Instead of a culture of respect and responsibility, it is now by a sense of entitlement. It is what people want in spite of the consequences. We no longer have morals, and we try to make the Bible fit with what we want to believe instead of what God actually says. The problem is not guns, but an unchurched society. The gun control debate has been sweeping the nation for years, and many people believe something must be done. Some think Congress must intervene to solve the problem of gun violence today. On the other hand, anti-gun control activists believe in our constitutional right to buy and own firearms. With the different point of views on the topic, no one knows exactly how to debate on gun control will unfold. Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, guns have not changed. It is our society that has changed, and all the gun laws in the world will not put the evil back in the bottle.